Welcome, everyone, to the 2002 APBA World Championships coming to you from beautiful Key West, Florida. Hi, I'm Vince Lipari. On behalf of Jeff Girardi and the rest of the Freeze Frame video production crew, we have over 100 competitors in all in these World Championships. This is a 7-race event. We've already had race number 1. We'll give you the winners in just a moment. This is a beautiful complex here in Key West, the southernmost tip of the continental United States. The Truman Annex is the headquarters for many of the activities, from inspections to fueling. The cranes are here as well, to the wet pits. It is your racing village for this event. Lots of social activities here in Key West, from the boat parade to the cocktail party under the stars on the city parking garage roof, racers party at Martha's and Benihana restaurants, a pre-block party at Krabby Bill's, and of course the big Nick Carter concert on Saturday night. Of course, as we said, we've had race number 1 and your winners in race number 1. In Super Cat Light Outboard Triple, Flowmaster, High Risk, and Critical Lift, 1, 2, and 3. And in Super Cat Light Outboard Twin, Cat Can Do, getting the checkered flag. And in Super V, Nick Cutter Racing on top, followed by Instigator and Media Master. And in Super V Light Single, Vortec Extreme Cava Cava, then Fury, and High Noon Racing. Those are the results of race number 1. We should also tell you, of course, that we've already had the APBA National Championships, and they include in Super Cat Drambuie on Ice, and Super Cat Light in Motion, in Super Cat Light Outboard Critical Lift, in Super V Nick Carter Racing, in Super V Light Cava Cava, in Super V Light Twin, Pier 57, Factory 1, we've got Activator, your national champion, and in Factory 2, Team Donzi. In today's race, race number 2 includes Factory 1 and Factory 2, and your competitors are in Factory 1, Radioactive, High Energy Racing, H2O Motorsports, Propco, SuperboatUSA.com, Stellar Marine, Raising Cane, Patriot Offshore Racing, Team Lavycraft, Mutual Fun, Flash Wave, Activator, Velocity VR1, and Typhoon Racing. That's in Factory 1. In Factory 2, it's Speedwear, Harwich Concrete Blocks, Snap-on Talking Tools, Sonic Racing, Twister, Let's Play Racing, Total Marine Racing, Team Donzi, Herbert Racing, Treadwell Motorsports, RNS Offshore Racing. Those are your competitors. Today's race, Factory 1 and Factory 2. Freeze Frame Video Productions providing 31 onboard cameras for this event here in Key West. We've got onboards for today's race. Onboard Superboat, Speedwear, Harwich Concrete, Patriot, High Energy, and Mutual Fund. 6 onboard cameras for you for this race number 2. 31 in all provided by Freeze Frame Video Productions. Now, the APBA offshore officials, of course, who are crucial to making this event possible. Of course, the 2002 racing season include CEO Michael Allweiss, President and COO Ted Zoli, Executive Administrator Lynn Eason, Safety Director Jim Poplin, Chief Inspector Paula Brew, Chief Referee Mike Tomlinson, Chief Scorer Dee Kimes, Director of Race Communications Jim Felton, Director of Sponsorship Fulfillment Tony DeCoba, Pit Manager Randy Hedgewood, and Competition Director Steve Miklos, and of course a special thanks to Race Director Lee Mills. And the sponsors for the APBA Offshore 2002 racing season. Some of the sponsors include Mercury Racing, Volvo Penta, High Tech Performance Trailers, Vortec, Donzi, also Formula Racing, Sunoco Racing Fuels, Tommy Bahama, and American Express, just to name a few. Of course, Freeze Frame Video Productions proud to be a part of the APBA 2002 racing season and these World Championships here in Key West. We'd like to say that Freeze Frame Video Productions is also providing all races on the DVD format as well as VHS. Just a beautiful day here in Key West for race number 2 as we look around the Truman Annex, the dry pit area where we look at some of these big, beautiful machines. There's Dirty Duck. There's Typhoon. There's WHM Motorsports, a Supercat, which got second in the national points at the Bahamas. We'll be racing in race number 3 here in Supercat Division, WHM Motorsports. And race number 4, the first race on Saturday, will include P classes only. And there's a brand new skater. That's the first skater V-bottom build that is in testing stage right now. The skater always builds cats. Tommy Bahama. There's High Risk, took a second place this morning, and Supercat Light Outboard Triple, High Risk. All right, very shortly, we will be airborne to bring you race number 2 here, the 2002 APBA World Championships. Boats now begin to spread out, heading for a lineup there as they begin. We're going to go with the Factory 2 start. There, the boat's going out right now. As you can see, fairly calm waters. Boats beginning to spread out, leaving the milling area. Factory 1 and Factory 2 in this race number 2, and the competitors. There's Speedwear, Harwich Concrete Blocks, Snap-on Talking Tools, Sonic Racing, Twister, Let's Play Racing, Total Marine Racing, Team Donzi, Herbert Racing Treadwell, and RNS Offshore Racing. Those are your Factory 2 boats. 10 competitors in all in Factory 2 at the start. There's the pace boat with the yellow flag just moments away from the start as the boats begin to continue to spread out, line up, and we've got a green flag now here at this race number 2 of these 2002 APBA World Championships. We got Herbert Racing, Harwich Concrete, Total Marine, Speedware Donzi, and RNS Racing. Right there is your lineup as we begin in the early moments of this race. It's Herbert Racing, Harwich Concrete, Total Marine, Speedware Donzi, and RNS Racing. Harwich, Total Marine, Speedware Donzi, and RNS. Let's go on board Harwich Concrete now. On board with Mark O'Duggan and Chris Wickstrom. Driver and throttle man. Mark from Winthrop, Mass. Chris from Harwich, Massachusetts. 35-foot fountain, mercury powered, 2 500 horsepower inboards. Chris Wickstrom, the owner of Harwich Concrete. There's a helicopter in the background on the right side. Russell Kilpatrick. All right, as you can see, there's a little stuffed animal there going for a ride as well on board Harwich Concrete. Rear shot on board Speedware Racing. Speedware. With Todd Welling and Lance Henriksen. .38-foot fountain, mercury powered, 2 500 horsepower inboards. At the green, Speedware Racing. Going down on the throttle. Lance Henriksen on throttle, Todd Welling the driver. Donzi on the left. RNS on the right side. Speedware always runs well. Almost won the World Championships last year. In 1999, it was your World Champion. All right, here's another shot of just before the start with the yellow flag, and there you see Herbert Racing and Harwich Concrete, Total Marine, Speedware Donzi, RNS Racing. Once again, these are just the moments just before the green flag here in race number 2 of these 2002 World Championships here in Key West, APBA. And there you see the green going down, the boats beginning to go off once again with Herbert Racing, Harwich, Total Marine, Speedware Donzi, and RNS Racing. All right, your leader right now in the early moments of this race is Herbert Racing with Eric Treadwell and Boomer Hukari. Harwich Concrete in second place. Coming up, the rest of the competitors. We've got Total Marine, Speedware Donzi, RNS Racing. There's Harwich Concrete in second place. There's Speedware coming up in third. And the two formulas, we've got RNS Racing and Total Marine on the outside. Great start here in race number 2 of these 2002 World Championships here in Key West. All right, there is Harwich Concrete in second place as we go around the turn, going to your leader, Herbert Racing. Herbert Racing. Harwich Concrete in second place, a 35-foot fountain. It's mercury powered. 2 500 horsepower Mercury inboards. Mark O'Duggan is the driver. Chris Wickstrom is the throttle man. They're both from Massachusetts. All right, Harwich Concrete took a first place in Marathon, a fourth in Cape Cod, a fourth in Savannah, first in Cleveland, and a first in Texas. Came out in fourth place in the national point standings. Currently in second place here in Key West. Factory 2. On board Harwich Concrete. Marco Duggan and Chris Wickstrom on board. In Mallory Square, Harwich Concrete in second place in Factory 2. On board Harwich Concrete going around the turn. Marco Duggan at the wheel. 35-foot fountain, Chris Wickstrom, the owner of this boat. Round the turn in Mallory Square. Race number 2 of 7 races here for these World Championships. Okay, now we're going to go with Speedware. Speedware is a 38-foot fountain, Mercury Power 2 500 horsepower inboards. Todd Welling is the driver, Lance Henriksen, the throttle man. Speedware, main sponsor, Speedware for all your embroidery and silk screen needs. They're based in California. Now this boat holds the kilo record in Factory 2 for 36 feet plus at 92.280 miles per hour. Currently in third place in Factory 2 here in Key West. This boat almost won last year's World Championship, is your 1999 World Champion in Factory 2, Speedware. This boat did not run in 2000. In third place, in Factory 2, Speedwear. A rear shot with our onboard camera. 31 onboard cameras provided by Freeze Frame Video for these World Championships. Great way for the spectator to get right in the boat and get the cockpit view of the race. There's a formula on the right side. Great shot here, great rear shot. Our helicopter there in the background. So Russell Kilpatrick always does a fine job for us. Russell Kilpatrick. Helicopter. Back to our helicopter shot, Speedwear. Todd Welling and Lance Hendrickson, driver and throttle man. Harwich Concrete there on the inside. Speedwear on the outside. Back on board Harwich with Russell Kilpatrick in the background. Looks like Speedwear hooking it a little bit. A little bit will go on board Speedwear, get a closer look. "38-foot fountain." Let's go on board Speedwear and get a look at that. There's Total Marine going by on the right side. Total Marine Racing. All right, back to our helicopter shot. Speedwear and Harwich Concrete on the inside. All right, there is on the inside coming up. There's Total Marine Racing. Total Marine Racing, a 38-foot formula. Mercruiser Power 2, 500 horsepower inboards. Jim Arvis is the driver. Tom Caruso is the throttle man. Jim from Virginia, Tom from Connecticut. Carl Seda is the owner of Total Marine Racing. This boat took a third place in Cape Cod, a fourth in Savannah, a fourth in Texas, and a fifth place in the National Point Championships. Total Marine Racing in Factory 2. Main sponsor there, Sirius Satellite Radio and Total Marine. Jim Arvis and Tom Caruso on board this 38-foot formula.
Inside,
Speedwear on the outside. Total Marine on the inside. In Mallory Square. Round the turn. All right, now let's go with RNS Offshore Racing. It's a 38-foot formula, Mercruiser powered, two 500 horsepower inboards. Howard Richardson is the driver. Jack Storley is a throttle man. Howard from New Jersey. Jack from Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. This boat took a third in Savannah, third in Cleveland, second in Corpus Christi, and a third in Marathon, and took a second place in the National Point standings for this year. RNS Offshore Racing. Sponsors include Formula Racing and Sirius Satellite Radio. Special thanks to Mike Beekler of the Equipment Sales for Satellite Radio. Special thanks to other crew members including Jack Lawson and Marie Richardson. Nice driving there by Mr. Howard Richardson. Jack Storley on throttle. There's Total Marine Racing on the outside. Total Marine with Jim Arvis and Tom Caruso in Factory 2. .38-foot formula. Slowing down, apparently having some problems. All right, there's Team Donzi on the outside. Team Donzi at 38-foot Donzi, Mercury powered, and Snap-on Talking Tools on the inside. Snap-on, 38-foot Donzi. Snap-on Talking Tools, as we said, is a 38-foot Donzi, Mercury powered, two 500 horsepower inboards. Wilma Ross, the driver. Brian Ross is the throttle man. Took a fourth place in Cape Cod, a fourth in Savannah, and took a sixth place in the National Point standings. Team Donzi on the outside, your national champion in Factory 2. Going by the spectators, heading into Mallory Square. Snap-on Talking Tools. Wilma Ross and Brian Ross. Other crew members include Robert Mason, Daryl Armstrong, and Kevin James. Special thanks to Donzie Marine, Steve Simon, Doug Valentine, and their entire crew. Also special thanks to the sponsors Snap-on, AC Delco, Hot Knots, and Mercury. Also Chaco Motorsports and Myco Trailers. Snap-on. This boat always runs well. These guys are from Canada. There's your national champion in Factory 2 class team, Donzie, with Doug Valentine, the driver, Mike Stancombe, the throttle man. Mercury powered 2 500 horsepower inboards, Team Donzie. Doug Valentine and Mike Stancombe aboard, driver and throttle man. 38-foot Donzie. All right, now let's go with Let's Play Racing. Let's Play Racing is a 36-foot Formula Mercury powered 2 500 horsepower inboards. Patrick Dunn is the driver. Jeff Cresciano is the throttle man. Owners, Let's Play Racing. Lots and lots of competitors in Factory 2, 10 in all. Speedwear, Harwich, Snap-on Talking Tools, Sonic Racing, Twister, Let's Plays we're watching right now. Total Marine Racing, Team Donzie, Herbot Racing, RNS Offshore Racing. Lots of great competition, of course, Speedwear as well. High Energy Racing, a 27-foot activator, Factory 1 class boat. We got Michael McMarley, the driver. Mark Kowalski is the throttle man. Mike from Maryland and Mark from Ohio took a second place in Marathon, a third in Cape Cod, a first in Savannah, a third in Cleveland, and a second in Texas, and wound up in fourth place in the national championships. High Energy Racing, Factory 1 boat. In first place, High Energy Racing in Factory 1. We got some 13 competitors in Factory 1 class. Lots and lots of competition. Radioactive, H2O Motorsports, Superboat USA, Stella Marine, Raising Cane, Patriot Offshore Racing, Team Levy Craft. We also have Mutual Fun, Flash Wave, Activator, Velocity, VR1, and Typhoon Racing. Of course, High Energy Racing, your leader right now in Factory 1. High Energy in first place.
Here comes Typhoon on the other side. All right, we're doing good. This is when we're going to get them, right in this rough shit. Watch out so they don't go sideways in front of us. You full of tape book? No. All right, I got it. How we looking? Good, 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 good. Easy them all. Keep it in, keep it in. Got the buoy, got the next buoy? I got it. Wow, I don't. Go ahead, they all fall out. They all fucked up too. All right.
Number 1 in Factory 1.
Easy. Keep it in, keep it in.
Factory helicopter shot. There's Typhoon Racing. Typhoon Racing, a 26-foot kryptonite, Mercury-powered, 500 horsepower inboard engine. Glenn Murray's the driver. Randy Schluss is the throttle man. They're from New Jersey. Freeze Frame Video Productions would like to thank the Typhoon Racing team for helping us to transport our equipment to Key West for these World Championships. Special thanks to the crew guys, Rich Asman, Jimmy Welsh, Glenn Helwig, Mark Aziz, Brett Greener, and Big Eddie, and of course Jack and Diane. These guys were your 2000 World Champions in Factory 1. Now they took a second place in Cape Cod this year, along with a second in Savannah, a second in Cleveland, a second in Texas, second in the Bahamas, and came in second in the national championships in the Bahamas. Typhoon Racing. Currently in second place right here at the World Championships in Key West. Also special thanks to Chris and Donna Schluss and Martha, Shelby, Christian, Karen, Carol, and Paul Murray. Nice driving there by Glenn Murray. Sonic Racing, 36-foot Sonic Mercruiser powered, 2 500 horsepower inboards. Dennis Hennessy is the driver and throttle man. Patrick Kays, the navigator. They're all from New Jersey. Sonic Racing in Factory 2 class. Other competitors in Factory 2, we've got Twister, Snap-on Talking Tools, Harwich Concrete, Let's Play Racing, Twister, Total Marine Racing, Team Donzi, Herbot Racing, Treadwell Motorsports, R&S, Offshore Racing, and Speedwear. 10 competitors in all in Factory 2. And this is race number 2 here of 7 in Key West for these APBA World Championships. Nice jump there. Sonic Racing. H2O Motorsports Propco propellers. It's a 28-foot Warlock Mercury-powered 500 horsepower Mercury inboard. David Caruth is the driver. Brian Canty is the throttle man. There's Sonic Racing on the inside and Factory 2, H2O Motorsports on the outside and Factory 1. As we were saying, H2O Motorsports is a 28-foot Warlock. It is powered by Mercury, 500 horsepower inboard. David Caruth is the driver. Brian Canty is the throttle man. Other competitors in Factory 1 class, we've got Activator, Flashwave, Mutual Fun, Team Lavycraft, Radioactive, SuperboatUSA.com, Stellar Marine, Racing Cane, Patriot, High Energy, Typhoon, Velocity, Activator, 13 Factory 1 boats in all. David Caruth, the driver, and Brian Canty is the throttle man. They're both from Georgia. On board H2O Motorsports. Mutual Fun, 29-foot Fountain, Mercury-powered, 500 horsepower inboard, a Factory 1 boat. Michael Connolly's the driver. Bill Kingery's the throttle man. Mike from Lewis Center, Ohio. Bill from Columbus, Ohio. Mutual Fun, Factory 1 boat. RNS Offshore Racing on the outside. Mutual Fun on the inside. RNS, a Factory 2 boat. Mutual Fun, a Factory 1 boat. RNS in second place, currently in Factory 2. Bill Kingery on throttle, Mike Connolly at the wheel. Both doing a great job here on board Mutual Fun, Factory 1 boat. Richard Clark and Mike Connolly and Bill Kingery all are the co-owners of this 29-foot fountain.
Force right here. Ease up. They cut in on us. We gotta go all the way. We gotta go out. Come on, go for it. I'm going. They left us nothing. It's all right. They're still pulling out on us. We're running on the conservative side. Yeah, baby. Come on. Get ready to set a bigger turn up here. Ooh, easy. Oh, easy. It's rough on this turn. It's rough on the turn. Back off of it a little bit. If I can't hold it down, you're going to have to back off when I say back off. I'm watching all kinds of shit. Easy. Ew. Yeah, baby. monster shit. It's all gonna come together. Watch it. Lord. Oh, that hurt.
Onboard mutual fun there with Michael Connolly and Bill Kingery. 29-foot fountain, Mercury powered. Patriot Offshore Racing, a 29-foot fountain. Curtis Watkins, the driver. John Thames is the throttleman. Curtis from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. John from Stowe, Vermont. Long ways from Key West, Florida. Mercury powered, 500 horsepower. Mercury inboard. Viper Marine is the owner of Patriot Offshore Racing. F-177. Lots and lots of spectators here in Key West as we head into Mallory Square. There's Team Donzie on the outside, Team Donzie. Curtis Watkins at the wheel doing a nice job. John Thames, the throttle man. On board Patriot Racing with Curtis Watkins and John Thames. Beautiful day here in Key West. Race number 2 of this 7-race event here in these World Championships, APBA. Little jolt there on board Patriot Offshore Racing. Recovery, Curtis Watkins and John Thames. Back to a helicopter shot. Let's go at superboatusa.com now. 30-foot superboat. Brian Wickersham is the driver. Edgar Simmons is the throttle man. Brian from Richmond, Virginia. Edgar from Virginia, but from Mannequin, Sabbath, Virginia. Mercruiser powered, 500 horsepower inboard. Special thanks to Superboat on Long Island. Twister going by on the inside at Factory 2. Twister. On board superboatusa.com. Brian Wickersham and Edgar Simmons. Brian at the wheel. Back to our helicopter shot. superboatusa.com in Factory 1. "30-foot superboat." Edgar Simmons, the owner. Stella Marine there in the distance. Stella Marine F-118. 29-foot fountain, Chevy powered, 500 horsepower inboard. Lisa Steinbach is the driver. Kurt Steinbach is the throttle man. They're from St. Petersburg, Florida. Lisa Steinbach at the wheel. Stellar Marine. Factory 1 class. All right, we're on board Harwich Concrete now. We're going to take a few boats to the finish line. Here is Harwich Concrete Block with Marco Duggan, the driver, and Chris Wigstrom, the throttle man. They're both from Massachusetts as we wind down race number 2 here in Key West for these 2002 World Championships. Right now, Harwich Concrete is in second place. So in good standing here in race number 2 in Factory 2. One more turn to go for Harwich Concrete. Make it to the finish line. As we said, it is currently in second place. Speedware is number 1. Uh-oh, there's Chris Wickstrom. He's almost out of the boat. That hooking of the boat got him out of there, but he seems to be coming back in. He seems to be okay. Wow, that was quite an incident there. Chris Wickstrom almost being thrown out of the boat, being hit into Mark O'Duggan. Let's see that one more time in slow-mo. Quite a dramatic moment there for these two guys on board Harwich Concrete. They were in second place. Let's see that one more time. The boat has a dramatic hook, forcing Chris Wickstrom out of the boat. There's the hook. Chris going into Mark O'Duggan, slamming into Mark, then going outside there on the stern. He grabs the handrail of the boat, maintains himself on the boat, struggles to get back into the cockpit, and does so. Very lucky guy, Chris Wickstrom on throttle. Mark O'Duggan, the driver. Could have been a lot worse. Chris, making it back to the cockpit and seems to be okay. Let's see that one more time in regular speed. All happens in a matter of a few seconds, as you will see. The boat hooks, and there it is. Almost gets thrown out, holds himself on the handrail so he's not thrown into the water, back into the cockpit. They're okay. Of course, they've lost some position, though they were in second place. All right, let's take high energy racing now to the finish line.
Second flag all the way left. The checkered flag or not? Yeah, that's it. That's it, buddy. One down, one to go. Good job, dude. Turn in.
In first place, and a checkered flag for high energy racing in Factory 1 class. High energy. And there they are.
Baby. Pretty good, dude. Again.
Mike McCarley and Mark Kowalski celebrating there aboard High Energy Racing, getting a checkered flag in Factory 1. And that is the end of race number 2, the Factory 1 and Factory 2 boats. A lot of exciting racing, of course. We saw what happened to Harwich Concrete's Christopher Wickstrom being thrown out of the boat. Almost, not quite. He was able to grab himself on the handrail and managed to get back to the cockpit. Luckily, he is okay. Quite dramatic and violent couple of seconds there on board Harwich Concrete, but everything seemed to be working out all right. There are, of course, lots and lots of spectators along watching this race number 2 of these World Championships here in Key West, APBA. In just a moment, we will have the rundown, the winners after this race number 2, which featured the Factory 1 and the Factory 2 boats. 7 races in all. We've got 5 more to go here at these World Championships. And there, the Truman Annex, the racing village for these World Championships. Beautiful day here in Key West. All right, the winners in Factory 2 class, Speedware getting the checker flag coming up in first place. RNS Racing in second, and Herbot Treadwell Racing in third place. Speedware all the way, getting the checkered flag in Factory 2. All right, in Factory 1, High Energy Racing, we just saw a little while ago. Took them to the finish line in first place, followed by Typhoon Racing in second, and Velocity VR1 in third. High Energy in first place in Factory 1 class. And that is it, the end of race number 2. Coming up, race number 3, highly competitive racing and safe racing, of course, with the exception of that brief dramatic moment on board Harwich Concrete Block in which Chris Wickstrom was almost thrown out of the boat, but was managed to get back in the cockpit because he hung on to the handrails. Chris Wickstrom is okay, and that's the most important thing. So before we go, there are a few people that we would like to thank. First off, I'd like to give a special thanks to Eve for all of her help during these World Championships. Also a thanks to Gary and Nancy Johnson for their fine camera work, Mr. Jim Fisher for helping us on the onboard cameras. Also Russell Kilpatrick, our helicopter pilot, always does a fine job. And to the APBA staff for orchestrating a fine event. Of course, Freeze Frame Video, I'd like to give a special thanks to Typhoon Racing, Platinum, and the Obsession Race Team for helping us transport our equipment to Key West for these World Championships. So the next time we'll see you will be on Sunday morning for race number 6, the final race, where we will crown the world champions in Factory 1 and Factory 2. So this is Vince Lipari on behalf of Jeff Girardi and the rest of the Freeze Frame Video production crew wishing you a fond farewell from Key West, Florida. Bye, everyone.